Yes, people. It's GG at GG on wrestling on Twitter. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. If you're an audio listener, please leave a review. It will take you 2 seconds and it means a lot to all of us who produce content. So please make sure you do that. It's more wishes and predictions for 2022. I do have a very special guest who I'll bring up shortly. Of course, before we do that, make sure you hit up figtees.co.uk for all your custom figure shirts. You can even use code GGPod and you can save yourself a little money too. The idea of these videos is I've got some good friends of mine to come through and tell me 2 predictions for the year of 2022 in wrestling and 2 wishes. So 2 things they think will happen and 2 things they would love to happen in a dream world. So by the end of the year, we should hopefully have an idea of who was right, who was wrong, who was close to being right, and whose wishes came true, if any. I'm going to give 2 points for any correct predictions and 5 points if a wish comes true. Maybe have a little leaderboard scenario at the end of the year, and the winner may even win a prize. Who knows? Without further ado, let me bring up my very, very special guest, one of my favorite wrestling content creators and a personal favorite person of mine in general. It's the man himself, WrestleManiac UK, Mekz, if you will.
If you will. I need something like this for
Yeah,
the if
yeah.
you will, but I can't copy DMD. What's up, GG? I'm happy to be here, bro.
Always good to have you, bro. Always a pleasure chatting with you. And we're going to talk about 2022. Have you got high hopes for the year in general?
I do. I think 2021 was excellent. And I know we always moan about certain companies and this, that, and the other, and certain wrestlers and way stories play out. But I generally thought for the fan that just wants to be a fan, maybe doesn't even care as far as, dirt sheets and stuff we look at, it must have just been excellent. Like so much choice. The indies came back, and some wrestlers that we never thought we'd see again, and CM Punk came back, and everyone's kind of found their feet over the last 6 months, especially. And 2022 is sure just gonna be, I feel AEW, they're gonna make closer strides to towards closing that gap, that WWE gap. I predicted personally on my channel that AEW Dynamite will beat Raw in the overall viewership this year at least once. I definitely think it's going to happen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
They are close, man. I think I was reading some reports recently, and it's just that lapsed over 50 that they're still getting those extra viewers from, man. So we shall see. Well, let's get into some predictions and wishes for 2022. So if you want to go with one of your first predictions.
So I had one about Bianca Belair, am I right?
That's correct. So Bianca versus Becky for the Raw title at WrestleMania 38.
Yeah, this seems to be a story that, of course, it started at SummerSlam. Becky just kind of came in and abruptly ended Bianca Belair's reign for the SmackDown Women's titles. Becky and Charlotte have switched titles, and I feel like they've done a bit more of this going into the autumn, the Saudi show and stuff like that. Good program. They've cooled Bianca down a bit, but we're in WrestleMania season now. Becky, if we look at the Raw roster, there is no other top contender, really. They've done some good work this past couple months with Liv Morgan. It's not really believable, or Liv's not there yet in it. Maybe she needs some more big wins outside of just facing the champion before we can see her as a real competitor. Bianca Belair's tops, and I think they would want to, everyone in WWE to Becky Lynch, everyone wants to see Bianca go at it again. Becky she hasn't lost. She's been Raw Women's Champion every day since WrestleMania 35 that she's been active in the company. That's a long time. That is a long time. So, Becky needs that's a big moniker that they're gonna put on Bianca for beating her. Help to cement the star she's become. Again, it's more down to there's no other real stars, real contenders. So Bianca, Sasha, Bayley were all possible names. Maybe even Asuka were all possible names for me to win the Women's Rumble. Sasha Banks, it looks as if she's not going to make it now. She's got an injury. So, yeah, I would say Bianca to win the Rumble. again, and I don't think anyone will complain that she's won it 2 years in a row. And then go on to face Becky for the Women's Championship and win at WrestleMania.
I honestly wouldn't even mind a little three-peat Bianca winning, just like Stone Cold did, like Sean did a couple years running. Like, I would not mind that at all, man. Just make the Rumble like her thing, like she bosses it. And when you did send this to me, I was like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. Like, for them to, finally come full circle with this story. My concern is, though, do you think they have that kind of vision in mind, that Nabil get the clip, long-term storytelling, or would you how confident are you confident in WWE's booking, for one, that is their goal, or do you just think it's a big match to happen?
It's a big match to happen, and there's no one else. Let's be completely honest. Unless they draft someone in, unless Bailey comes back to Raw, wins the Rumble, and they do it big, Bailey versus Becky. Asuka is another one that makes sense because, Becky went off on her maternity leave and left the belt for Asuka. So Asuka's another one that makes sense. But Bianca makes sense as well. So, like I said, it's there's only 3 real competitors and this is WrestleMania. This ain't, Elimination Chamber or any one of those funny pay-per-views in between. So, I feel they have to do it big. I assume Bianca, because Bianca's been about, it's through circumstance. Like, Bianca's good enough, but at the same time, they don't really have anyone else. So
it makes sense. But will they do it? How confident, if you were to put like an out of 10 on how confident you are of this prediction to happen, what score would you give it?
10.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm fully confident. Like, I would be, like I said, if it's not Bianca, it can only be, for me, Asuka or Bailey. And right now, they're not visible enough for me. Obviously, they're injured, and maybe the Rumble is the perfect time for them to come back and be slotted into something like this. So, but I can't put my chips on someone I can't see, someone that's not around right now. Bianca's around right now. Bianca's doing her thing right now. I think she's in a number 1 contenders match on Raw tonight as we record. She probably won't win that because it's probably too early. She'll probably enter the Rumble, do her thing. And even that, I think you were saying before, how you wouldn't even mind if she just keeps winning Rumbles. She's been doing that ever since she showed up on the main roster. I remember, I think the Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania some years back, she showed up in that. She done her thing in that. Her first Royal Rumble, she had, I think, the most eliminations. Obviously, last year she won the Rumble. So yeah, the Royal Rumble's slowly becoming her thing anyway. So it makes sense.
It makes sense.
But I know
whether or not it happens. How do you think I think the Bailey, out of the names you said, obviously I'm not watching product weekly in terms of WWE, but where does that kind of fit in? Because I think Asuka makes perfect sense as well for the story you've said. I'm not sure how Bailey fits into a feud with Becky, though.
She doesn't organically, but it could just be, oh my God, Bailey's coming back from long-term injury, wins the Rumble, and then, it's quote unquote dream match for two of the horsewomen against each other. They could make it work, although both of their characters are somewhat similar, both heels. I'm sure they could make it work if they had to, but I'm sure it's probably just Bianca.
I hope so. Strong prediction to start with. Your next one is about the very controversial Cody Rhodes.
My guy.
So what was your prediction for this one?
Cody Rhodes uses the pedigree in AEW to confirm his heel turn. Yes. Look, he's teasing it. Every time he pulls man there, on in between his legs, and then he goes for the Tiger Driver. One day he's not going to pick up someone for that Tiger Driver, and he's going to nail them with a pedigree, flip them over, pin them after the 2 crossroads that he's doing, and we're all going to gasp. We're all going to gasp. You know what? I was half thinking that, wouldn't it be perfect? Obviously, we just saw that Sammy Guevara has won the interim TNT championship. But wouldn't it be perfect if Dustin won it? And then obviously Cody and Dustin were going for the title, the TNT title, and he nailed Dustin with the pedigree. Like,
they're obviously saving it for someone.
Yeah,
Like it's got to be a Sting. I think that's like
it's gotta be Sting.
a
It's
dream.
literally gotta be
It's got to
Sting.
be. It's got to be
It
Sting.
has to be, yeah.
Yeah, I think that will just be poetic and
Mm,
just like you literally the symbolism of you went over there to job to this man, and I don't know, there's just so much you can give with that story. And
yeah.
the thing is, he has warned us of this. He said it in
Mhm.
a promo maybe a few months back now. It could have been so easy. I could have hooked man up, pedigreed them, looked at the camera, and done everything that
Yeah,
that I've said I wouldn't do. So why are you going to say it and now tease it? Like
yeah.
we're going there, surely.
He's gonna do it, and it's gonna be to someone of that ilk, like you say, Sting, some other cult hero, so to speak, a Darby Allin, a Hangman Adam Page. It's got to be to someone that makes total sense. And yeah, for he can't, like, the Tiger Driver as a finisher for him came out of nowhere. Am I right? He wasn't using that move at all before.
And it's Kenny's move, which I don't know if there's anything to that. And maybe that's why he's doing it, or like you said, it's literally just to tease the pedigree.
Yeah, I think it's just to tease the pedigree. So eventually,
Mm.
he ain't gonna lift them up. He's gonna go down to his knees, and yeah, we're gonna see that pedigree definitely sometime this year. It's a slow burn right now, but yeah, I'm looking forward to whenever it comes, because this guy needs to turn heel and do his best work, as we've all seen as a heel.
I just hope it is like he said, man. Like just nails that pedigree, and there we go. That's it. Like you've predicted. I do hope it comes true, man.
Mm.
And the seeds have been planted. Even Dustin teased the pedigree this week.
Yeah,
Like
I was thinking, why is Dustin doing that as well?
cheeky, cheeky.
Yeah.
How confident are you in this? Is this another 10 out of 10 for this year?
It's up there still. I'll be a bit more reserved with this one, and I'll say an 8.
Mm.
I think we're definitely getting it. It's needed. For me personally, I'll go the whole way, and I would retract the statement of I'm never going to go for the AEW World Title, and I'm trying to see Cody as world champion personally.
Yeah, I've
Because I
always
just
said
think
it.
it fits.
I would even love. I did kind of want him to be the one to take it off MJF,
Mm,
just because that whole story kind of
yeah.
circles back round. Nabil, get the clip. Put it in post. I don't know. then, but yeah, I think that would be pretty poetic. But then his heel work is just so good, and you can't have them both as
Yeah,
heels going at
yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
But
I think it's
yeah,
happening, man. I think yeah, I'll say 8 out of 10. I'm pretty sure this is going to happen. Like, he knows what he's doing. These guys listen to the crowd, as they say. They listen to the audience. So, give the people
how
what they want, like Excalibur would say.
how important do you think it happens this year? Like, because we're already in this really weird scenario with Cody, where the crowd are so decisive. Like, how important do you think is that we get this sooner rather than later?
Mm,
Or do
I
you
think
think it's important
I,
that we get it soon?
I'm not sure about the importance of it happening this year, but it depends how he's going to adjust his character right now, because, like, even in the last couple of weeks where he's won the title and stuff, he hasn't said much. He
No.
came out, said a few words, challenged Sammy, won the title. We saw a whole Brandy go face to face with Dan Lambert. Nothing,
Even even on was the Rampage split screen with Mark Henry. Like
mm,
he didn't talk at all. On was just stood there doing the
yeah,
talking.
yeah. So maybe this is the thing where Cody's gonna keep silent and just play it by ear until the moment he nails the pedigree, and then
Mm.
confirming the heel turn, and then he'll come out with some crazy promo about why he's doing it, or whatever the case is. I think the slow burn has been good. It's been very interesting. It is interesting to see when they're gonna pull the trigger on this though, because I don't know about now.
Yeah, I think the crowd are in just such a limbo state at the moment. I think, and he knows they're just going to cheer him when he does it as well. That's the
I
stupid
think that's a
thing.
problem as well. That is another problem, because it's like, why turn heel for the whole crowd to then just cheer me, and I become one of those heels rather than an actual, like a MJF kind of heel, a more heat magnet heel.
Mm.
So yeah, he's got a lot to consider. They all have a lot to consider, but it's definitely got to come. That one day he might even go as far as lift the person for the Tiger Driver and then put them back down and then pedigree them. Like, we'll see.
Stop it. While we're on the subject of Cody Rhodes, I do want to big man up for just outright. I don't know if you've seen the interview for Wrestling where he's just outright gone, I regret everything about the Anthony Ogogo stuff. Like, fair play.
I think you were saying before in the group, yeah. You know, you have to be able to hold your hands up to stuff that doesn't work and stuff like that. Yeah, they tried something new, didn't come across.
He literally said, like, you know, in hindsight, a white man talking about race relations in America didn't really seem right. Fair play, innit? I mean, the problem is, I don't want to get too deep into it, but you know, he says he workshops these things, and you know, there's a lot of work before it gets there. So
yeah,
I think regretting it, but it probably couldn't have.
This is the question, and even we've seen, you know, the likes of Big Swole come out about this recently. Like, you could say you workshopped it, you had a focus group. Who was in the focus group? Like, that's it. And he may not want to say, he might be protecting people or whatever. He takes the brunt. That's cool. But yeah, unless you have that kind of representation in and around the workplace, you will never know. Like, I could say something mad and I might have offended, you know, a white person, a Latin person, whatever. But until those people are around me, I'll never know that, okay, Mekz, that's not the right thing to say. Right, leave that one. That's what I mean. So
let's just hope Hobbs wasn't in those groups, man.
He's
going to be like, not me, bruv.
Yeah, I'm all good. We're all good over here. Yeah. Hobbs.
Right, let's move on to one of your wishes for the year. I think this is a wish for everybody across the pond, for any American viewers.
AEW have a UK stadium show. It's due. It's about time. Obviously, COVID has probably delayed this. I think they were meant to do one of those Fight for the Fallen?
Fyter Fest.
Oh, Fyter Fest, yeah. They were meant to do something here quite a while ago. COVID was a thing, still is a thing, so that hasn't happened. But yeah, if we're at 3 years now. They need to leave the country. They need to explore. They need to, you know, see what their UK market is saying, because they never know, you know, they know by maybe viewership and stuff like that. But if they come and they have a stadium show and it's well attended, it'll be very easy for them to come back. It might be very easy to them to put on this kind of show once a year, twice a year, or something like that. So, yeah, it's time to kind of explore into the quote unquote unknown, and do a UK show, which is probably their second biggest market outside of America, I'm guessing.
Yeah, see, I wonder about these numbers because the ITV deal is obviously piss poor. You know, we're not watching these things live. How many, you know, UK viewers are watching through Fight? Can they tell that via, you know, the logins or whatever? I'm sure they can.
Yeah.
It just, you know, and I don't know why I've always had this kind of idea in my head that the UK market is a big market. There's people watching. We've got a massive fan base. He will sell out an arena here because people have been, like myself, have been wishing for this since day one of AEW starting. Yeah. What was my point? UK fan base. Say what you said again.
Basically, but even some good points that you raised. If they look at the data,
the ITV thing. I thought that maybe that a better deal would coincide with them coming over here.
Yeah,
because I just don't understand how it's taken so long to get a proper deal unless the numbers are that bad. It's not something I look at.
So does Dynamite play in this country live at ITV? Like at night?
Fridays.
Oh, they play it on Fridays.
Okay. And then I'm not sure when Rampage is. I think that might be a Wednesday or Thursday. But come on, man, what's on ITV at this time? Who's watching ITV at Love Island repeats or something? Like, what else could it be?
It's true.
Surely people want to watch Men in Pants rather than Men in Pants.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, to be honest, now that you've mentioned that, I hope they're not looking at the data, because if they're looking at the data of viewership and stuff in this country, that I wouldn't want to come and do business here either if that's what I was basing my decision on. But I'm sure by the fanfare and things like that, you know, WWE come over here, and yes, WWE is massive and it's received massively, but AEW should be able to know we've got a portion of the market of even of those fans, let alone people that are just AEW fans in over here. So I say stadium might be a push, even if it's like a small 10 to 20,000 seater or something like that.
What's Craven Cottage's capacity? It's got
It's
to be
about
that.
20 something thousand. Yeah, 20 something thousand.
Yeah, man. I reckon it will be, man. He's gonna go for it. He's got to.
Yeah, they've got to do it. They've got to do it. The question is it this year? Which is, I still think, yes, it has to be this year, sort of thing. We're getting into the pattern of knowing AEW, knowing their schedule and things like that. They put a spanner in the work. I still personally think they need like a WrestleMania, like a marquee show every year. It could be one of their existing shows that they have
Yeah,
now.
it's supposed to be Double or Nothing, isn't it? I think
Okay,
that's
so
supposed to
I
be.
think they need to scale it up. Then,
Mm.
if that's the case, if that's going to be Double or Nothing, then cool. But they need to scale it up and do something on a bigger scale. And this isn't to compete with WWE. This is just for them to have that one thing on the calendar where fans like us that don't live in the US can look forward to. Okay, whenever it falls, when's Double or Nothing? May. Then we can all make our what Feb.
Feb. Mm.
Double or Nothing. No, that's Revolution. Is in Feb.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, yeah. I don't know then.
Yeah, I think it's in about May or so, May, June or so, something like that. But yeah, we need to know as foreign fans when the big show is, so we can start, planning our travel and coming over if that's what we want to do. And that would even let them know again that there's fans in other places. So the UK show, I definitely want to see that this year. I'd say maybe 6 out of 10 that it happens.
Yeah, I mean, how high is it on your wish list though? In terms of
it's very high. 11.
Yeah.
It's broken the scale 100%. I need to see that.
Yeah, I want to be front row, bro.
Yeah,
I want to be,
mate.
I want to be broke after that show because I
was about to say I'm taking out a credit card. I'm going overdrawn if I need to. Like I'm trying to really get in there and enjoy that show if they come here. So yeah.
I'm with you, man. It's been my wish every day since AEW started. So fingers crossed it comes true. Your final wish for 2022.
You know what? When so the wish is that WWE and AEW have some type of collaboration, open a forbidden door. Obviously, this past week we saw Mickie James was announced for WWE Royal Rumble. And I was scratching my head thinking, I literally said WWE are going to open a forbidden door. And I was like, who did I tell that to? Like, I can't remember. And then I thought, yeah, it's GG, but I said AEW. Look, it probably doesn't happen. This is very, very, it's very unlikely. But the hope now that WWE, one, they've opened this door for Mickie James, and two, they apparently are speaking that they are open to the idea of opening it for others.
But we're seeing reports today. Obviously, this isn't going to go out for a week or so, but we're seeing reports today of there's someone seemingly, from what I'm reading, there's someone that, they are after to open this door. So when I think of a big name, unfortunately, I'm not looking over at Impact. The women's roster, certainly they've got, Mickie James and, not even necessarily big names, but known established stars. Impact, you've got Rhino, Heath Slater. Who else are you really going to push forward? And do you know what I love?
Go on.
No, go on.
No, I was saying, I don't want them to use this forbidden door as a way to bring back ex-WWE people. Like, if you're going to open up the door to bring back Heath Slater or Rhino, or even for even for AEW, and you bring back Matt Hardy, like, please, like, and no one wants to see that. That's not the big money draws in it. Like, with Mickie James, I've actually learned that with Mickie James, apparently Mickie James isn't under an Impact contract.
Okay. Apparently, she must not be though, because she was in NWA and she was doing that show, and that's when she opened the door.
Yes. Apparently, Mickie James has no contract with no company. Hence why it was very easy for WWE to do this deal. And yeah, at first they didn't say it. Pat McAfee was the one that said, she's the Impact Knockouts champion and stuff like that. He's the one that mentioned Impact, and of course, then they recognized it on their social media and stuff. But yeah, so I don't know if you can class Mickie James as a real Forbidden Door because she's ultimately apparently a free agent, but they're open to the idea. That is what we've seen in the last few weeks and that. So yeah, long may it continue. I hope they actually go and get some big names, you know, and I mean, I don't even know who I'd want it to be. But
imagine it's MJF though. Could you imagine a world where MJF comes out of Royal Rumble?
But you know what? If it's because of MJF and what he's doing currently with storyline, I don't even need him to be in the match. Imagine he was just in the crowd. Imagine he was just in the crowd sitting next to Vince McMahon, sitting next to Stephanie McMahon. They just pan the camera over in the box, in a box, and you know, he's signing something, but we don't know what he's signing, and he shakes like Vince's hand, and that's it. Like, that is enough for me. Like, I don't even need to see him wrestle. Like, that's enough.
Oh, 2024 is going to be scary. Not scary, just wonderful, exciting.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
They're going to milk the hell out of this. Do you actually think he'll move?
No.
Yeah,
no, it's all for clout.
Yeah,
it's literally just I think it's like a poke at CM Punk as well, and you know, his Summer of Punk and how he does that, and it's like the guy is just gonna build his stock tenfold just with that storyline in itself. And we know that WWE interested, but he's such a dick that I honestly don't know what lengths he's gonna go to make this become a bit more real. Like
they need to give him the world title. That's what they need to do. 2024 or in and around then, he wins the world title and then he leaves. And he 100%. Does Summer of Punk and all of that stuff properly. Like he wrestles on the indies and puts the AEW title on the line. He goes to GCW, he goes to New Japan with the AEW world title. Heck, walk through the door and come to the WWE with the title. Just teasing, like making people really stressed out. And then he eventually returns or something like.
But yeah, even bro, like you just said, even his contract expires and he's sat in the crowd with the title. Oh, yeah. Could you imagine? Yeah, oh wow!
Just do something like that. I mean, I'm sure they're already brainstorming the excellence that we're gonna see in 2024 around that storyline. So yeah.
Well, he certainly is. He's got it all mapped out, seemingly.
100%.
What else? What do you want to see from? You know, this is a wish of yours. So what are you looking for from this wish? What do you want to see this relationship look like? If it happened?
I think I want to give the opportunity for the likes of the big shots, the Kenny Omegas, to return, to go to WWE and have those dream matches. Because like we've said, he's not going to go sign a contract there because of their creative issues, their creative hampers. So if he can go over and have some dream matches, Young Bucks New Day, we've been waiting for forever. You know, I just want some of these top guys, these guys that have went from being just indie darlings to, you know, presidents of companies, top of their game, to still get the chance to face ultimately their friends and the role respected wrestlers inside WWE. And even if it's like, you know, just a matter of a 2 to 3 month program and they go back, trade wins, whatever, but we get excellent matches from it. I think that's all I need to see as a wrestling fan, and I'll be a happy man forever. Like,
as long as we don't see an invasion, that's all I care about.
The thing is, like, I'm always down for an invasion. I won't lie to you. I'm always down.
But they just haven't been booked properly, have they? Ever?
Exactly. That is the problem. If they're not going to book it properly, if they can't agree on how it's going to be best done, then forget about it. Like, honestly. But yeah, I would love to see the likes of Kenny, the Bucks over there, and just have a go at the so-called big time under all the lights and all that kind of stuff.
Give me one dream match. You've given me Young Bucks New Day. Give me another dream match if this Forbidden Door was to be opened.
Omega Rollins. I definitely want to see that. Omega, AJ Styles. I'd want to see that. I would want to see Wardlow come over and pick any WWE quote unquote big guy, Drew McIntyre or someone like that.
Ooh.
I think Wardlow, there's a lot of stock in Wardlow, man. Like, I just don't know how, because we don't see it often on AEW, you know, the bigger guy kind of have a run at the top. So I would want to see when eventually Woodlow gets to that position at AEW, it's going to be very interesting to see how he's handled. I think a program between the likes of Charlotte Flair and Britt Baker could be very interesting as well. I don't know what the match would look like, but I think just a program, two people that are very confident in themselves, good on the mic, could be very interesting to see. So yeah.
If this wish comes true, we get a lot of dream matches as well, clearly. Even Bianca and Britt, or Bianca and Serena Deeb, that would be crazy.
That could be excellent. Yeah, I mean, I was even saying with this Impact one, or what looks like a partnership with Impact, there's only really two names I want to see go over to WWE and do something. And there's a lot of good talent in that Impact roster, but in terms of how they would be handled, I think they would be handled well in WWE. Moose and Jordan Grace. I think those are the only two people in that whole roster that can go over to WWE and get some type of respect, and actually believably compete with the WWE roster.
Yeah, I think Moose is a guy, his form, his body shape, Vince is probably looking at him, oh my god. And Jordan Grace the same.
I think Jordan Grace could rattle that women's division. Literally, put everyone on
notice.
There's
no one like her, but there's no one like her on many divisions. Yeah,
and I was very surprised when she resigned. I think it was last year she resigned with Impact. I was literally thinking, what are you doing? Even if, I'm sure she said she had offers from WWE and AEW, but Impact is her home. I said, I didn't know what to say. Yeah, man.
Your house needs refurbishing.
Literally. She's a star. Jordan Grace is a star, and maybe she's just comfortable where she is, which is a shame.
Shout out Jordan Grace every single time. Let's wrap it up there with a smile on my face. Thank you very much for joining me, Mekz. As always, make sure you subscribe to WrestleManiac UK. All the info's down below. You've heard me say it before. So much good content, great videos on there featuring the likes of myself, Rest Things. But yeah, top 1 channel for your wrestling content. So make sure you hit them up. And the podcast as well is a great listen. So make sure you get that wherever you get your podcast from. Before I leave it there, make sure you hit up figtees.co.uk once again. Use code GGPod and save yourself some money. That is it for us. Respect yourself. Don't neglect yourself. And Mekz, we'll see you soon.
Yes. Peace.